Hi, this is Sun Scorpio 8, and I briefly wanted to make a video about juicing. I wanted to tell my fellow YTs my experience with juicing and why I say juicing is one of the best things anyone could incorporate into their diet. I started juicing back in '04, I believe. Yeah, it was 2004. I invested in a juicer. Um, and slowly I started to use my juicer about once, maybe twice a week. And then in, I think, yeah, summer of '04, I really started to use my juicer. It got to the point where I would use my juicer 2 to 3 times a day. And what I would do, I had a desk job then as well. I would be gone from like 7 until 4:30 every day at work. And so in the morning time, I would get up around quarter to 6, 6 o'clock, and I would juice. The night before, I would set out everything that I wanted in my juice so that when I got up that morning, I already had the juicer set up and the fruits or vegetables separated and washed in the fridge. And I would pull it out and I would juice. And juicing would take me anywhere from about 10 to 15 minutes to juice and clean up in the morning time. And I'd have this huge cup that I would take to work with me. And actually, that was my breakfast. It was so much juice in there that it took me a few hours to drink it all because I would be moving around a lot on the job as well. Even though I had a desk job, I was answering emails, running to the fax, the printer, mailroom, etc. So I was moving around a lot, and I found that the more I juiced, it seemed like the less I was eating. I was really drinking my meals, and it made a big difference, a big impact all around. I had more energy. I wasn't as tired. I didn't get as sick anymore. This was the entire summer. Actually, I did this in all three to 4 months. I would juice 1 to 2 to 3 times a day, depending upon what day it was. The important thing I learned about juicing is you have to switch it up. If you consistently juice the same things day in, day out, eventually you're going to get tired of it and you won't want to juice that anymore. Another fun thing about juicing is experimenting to see which combinations of juices you like best. I usually personally don't do more than 3 combinations. That's just my personal preference. I think anything over 3 is just a bit much for me. So for instance, I would juice sometimes apple, carrot, ginger, celery, apple, pear. Apple was kind of always in my juices, and to this day, whenever I juice with apples because I think that's a neutral fruit that can be mixed with both fruit and vegetables, just about any fruit and vegetable, I should say. But the benefits, the reason I kept juicing and the reason I increased my juicing that summer, because I don't do as much juicing anymore, which I really should. I need to pick back up on my juicing. Um, the benefits that I noticed from juicing, this is on a female tip, just in relation to my monthly cycle, it was awesome. Usually before my cycle, I would feel really tired and run down. Then that first day just couldn't really function, didn't really want to function. When I started juicing, you just couldn't tell. I felt a difference. I always had energy. I had no cramps. So I say that juicing is like a remedy when it comes to any, I shouldn't say any, but I'll say most type of premenstrual symptoms or anything of that nature in relation to your cycle. I know me personally, I would sometimes feel nauseous and just have these, just horrible symptoms. And once I started to juice, all that went away. So I really promote juicing heavily. And I urge everyone to do your own research, read up on juicing. But I will say that when I was juicing, I could definitely feel that I was getting my nutrients. I didn't feel as hungry anymore because I know when I started to change my diet and I started to cut out the meats and I was doing more vegetables and all that other stuff, I would still feel hungry. So once I actually started to juice, all that stopped. I would I was juicing so much, I was really having one meal a day, and the rest of it really was just juice. So I have to say that for me personally, from my personal experience, that juicing improved my health overall. My skin was clearer. I mean, it's still clearing up. I still have a little ways to go, but once I started to juice, my skin got clearer, started to glow. There are just so many internal and I think external benefits to juicing, and I want everyone who's looking at this video to seriously consider investing in a juicer. Um, I think you get a lot of wonderful nutrients when you juice your fruits or your vegetables. Some of my favorites, like I said earlier, I was on this carrot tip, so a lot of the times I was juicing carrot, and I would just juice carrot alone and take that in and drink it. But you have to switch it up, otherwise you really start to get tired of the same juices. So that's the best advice I can give to you as far as juicing goes, switching it up, learning which combinations you like the best. But apples is the mainstay. In my opinion, it mixes well with just about any fruit and any vegetable. The only fruit I never mix anything with is citrus. So if I have grapefruits and oranges, I'll put them together. If I have grapefruits, I'll just juice the grapefruit. If I have oranges, I'll just juice the oranges. Those are one fruit. Those are that fruit group, the acidic fruit group. I don't mix that with any other fruits or vegetables for that matter. All right, that's my tip or a little bit of my experience with juicing and why I promote juicing. I really believe it's a good thing for everyone to do. I know everyone cannot afford a juicer, but maybe you have a juice cafe, smoothie cafe near you, and every once in a while, maybe once a week, you can afford to get a 12-ounce, 8-ounce glass of juice. It does the body good. Sun Scorpio 8, here's to your health. Peace.